Okay, assalamu alaikum. Today we will continue the lecture, chapter 2, week 2 and 3, data communication. Last time we stopped here at the conversion. It is a very important topic here. We are on slide number. I suggest you follow from your laptop, from your PowerPoint. These are how we modulate modulation of analog signal for digital data. And I have digital data. I want to modulate it to analog signal. How do we do that? There are three methods they are talking about in this chapter. The first method is amplitude shift key. Yani if it is 0, you see the amplitude is low or 0. If it is 1, high amplitude. Amplitude احنا قلنا اللي هي ايش؟ peak. Okay, see 0, 1 high amplitude. Okay. Agree? The second method is B يعني we will FSK, frequency shift key. Okay. frequency shift key FSK. حتى بالاكزام بيكتبوها FSK. ولو كتبوها BFSK نفس الشيء. Here we have a change in the frequency. So here, if it is 0, the frequency is low. If it is 1, you see the frequency is fast, is higher. ملاحظين الفرق? Can you see the difference, شباب? Yes. Good. The third method is phase shift key. تغيير الاتجاه, الزاوية, الانجل. When it is 0, the angle is going, it is going like this, right? Do you notice? 0 is going like this. When it hit 1, it's going the opposite. صح? So it is shift. Again, when it hits 0, it is going opposite. So this is called phase shift key. So the three methods to modulate of digital of modulation of analog signal for digital data: ASK, FSK, and PSK. These questions coming in the exams, you know. Maybe quiz 1 it will come. Maybe not. Study everything. ASK يعني amplitude shift key. So if it is 0, the amplitude القيمة is 0. When it is 1, the amplitude is high. The peak value is high. You see the value now? There is a value for the signal. FSK يعني frequency shift key. When it is 0, the frequency is 0 or low frequency. When it is 1, we have higher frequency. تردد. PSK اللي هي phase shift key. It's changing the angle, the direction. Okay? Continue. Yes. Modem is a device in telecommunication. We said modem is abbreviation of what? Modulator, demodulator. It is one of the most widely used pieces of communication gears. It modulates an analog carrier wave to encode digital information. And it will carry the digital information on the analog frequency. At the receiver, it will do the opposite. For example, we have direct broadcast satellites, Wi-Fi, mobile phones use modems to communicate. And we have three popular types of modems: voice grade, cable, ADSL. You know the ADSL, right? Here we have the cable modem. So you have the fiber optic coming from the ISP and internet service provider. It's coming to their cable office. This belongs to the telecom company. Then when it's arriving to the area, to the complex or compound, you have the coax or fiber cable coming to the home. Okay? Here you will find inside the home, you will find the modem. One for the internet, one for TV. Okay. ADSL is using digital subscriber line. هم عملوا التكنولوجيا ال ADSL لأنه already خطوط the telephone lines were there. Telephone is invented long time ago. So when the internet came, it's not realistic, you know, they will go and remove all the wires, or so they found a technology to use the same wire lines to put internet with the voice internet. So we had the ADSL. But which one is faster? Of course, cable. You have cable, fiber, and now I think many places here they have fiber, mashallah, cable. Okay. Fiber to the home. So fiber to the home, here we have the fiber cable is coming to the complex or compound or the village or the city, the town. And then you have optical splitter that will split the cable to each house. Okay? Because you know the fiber is, if you have ever seen a fiber, it's like, I don't know what they call it, sleek, يعني اللي هو ويرات رفيعة جدا. شايفين الفايبر الأسلاك؟ فالسبليتر بيوزعها على البيوت. يعني كل سلك مثلا بروح على البيت. ال OLT اللي هي الديفايس الموجودة that will receive the cable. Now here, it's important. Now I have digital signal encoding schemes. I have digital data. I want to encode it on digital signal. The first method is on NRZL, non-return to zero L, L يعني level. So what happened? You start with 0, no change. When it is 1, it will be low. يعني 0 is high, 1 is low. Or can be the opposite. بس ده هم حاطينها high, high. When it is 0, it is high. When 1, it is low. لا هاي illusion. هاي this is illusion.
Not this is one below. هنا دكتور هذا. هنا ليش نزل؟ ممكن لازم يكون نفس الشيء.
معلش احنا we are still here. حاضر. I will explain it. I think it is the same. It's just هاي بس عشان ال if you measure it, it is the same. It is the same. Okay, so the first method is non-return to zero L. This is important. The second method is called Manchester. Sorry, before Manchester, we have NRZI, inverter. Inverter meaning that when it is 0, it is one level. Whenever it hits 1, it's like toggle switch. If it is low, it will go high. If it hits one again, it will go down. It's like, you know, toggle switch on off. كل مرة 1 كأنك تضغط switch. Low high. Toggle. Low. لا. If it is 1. If it is 0, it will be this. Okay. Manchester is different technology here. Manchester, the change is happening in the middle of the wave or the middle of the period here. شوف التشينج وين؟ بالميدل. What will happen with Manchester? When it is 0, it will go from up down or high low. When it is 1, low high. Okay? ارسمها، حاول ترسمها على ورقة عندك. شوف. Just to remember to. When it is 0, you see here, when it is 0, high, low. It is 0 again, high, low. It is 1 in the middle. التغيير بصير بالميدل شباب. Low, high. بالميدل 1, low, high. 0, high, low. 1, low, high. في exercise, by the way. We'll give you an exercise. The last method is differential. Manchester is the opposite. Differential, you know, in mathematics. شو بسموه بالعربي اللي هو التفاضل، التكامل، المتمم. Okay, it is the opposite. You see here, you do Manchester, it is the opposite of Manchester. Okay, Shabab, let's have a short break. خلاص Okay, next slide. Analog encoding of analog information. This is the easiest, simplest. So you have voice generated sound. You want to represent it as electromagnetic signal. I don't know why this one is happening. Do you know why this is happening? But you can open the PowerPoint from your computer, by the way. You have it on your laptop. What's happened? So modulation can produce a new analog signal that convey the same information but occupies a different frequency band. A higher frequency may be needed for effective transmission. Analog to analog modulation permits frequency division multiplexing. Okay. شو يعني frequency division multiplexing؟ يعني you mix different signals to transmit at the same time. So here we have مشكلة ليش؟
جرب تسكر تسوي يمكن ريستارت.
Okay, so here we have the carrier signal. شايفين هذا السيجنال؟ This is the carrier signal. Okay. And this is the modulating sine wave signal. So the first method is called amplitude modulated wave. So here we are, the amplitude is changed. Whenever there is a value or you are changing the amplitude of the signal. So the signal, the analog data is represented by changing in the amplitude. The second method is phase modulated. It is when there is a signal, when this data is represented by changing the phase. The third method is by changing what? Can you read? Frequency. The last one is frequency.
Yes.
So please remember this, for analog encoding of analog data, these are the three methods. Don't forget them. Amplitude modulated wave, phase modulated wave, or frequency modulated wave. Tamam? Synchronous transmission is a block of bits transmitted in a steady stream without start and stop codes, because the two devices are synchronized. So no need to put a start and end. They are always ready for the transmission. Okay? The clock of the transmitter and receiver, they are synchronized, otherwise there will be problem. Okay? Each block begins with a preamble bit button and generally ends with a preamble bit button. بدل ما start or end لا بيكون في preamble bit بيسموها. Okay? Just to indicate that this is the start of the transmission. The data pulse, preamble, post-amble, and control information are called a frame. اللي هي frame which layer? Layer 2, remember, data link layer.
Yes.
This is happening, by the way, in data link layer 2. Remember, we said in the data link layer, it is called, the PDU is called the frame.
Yes.
In the internet layer, it is called packet. In the transport layer, it is called segment. In the application layer, it's called data. In the physical layer, bits. Okay, very good. So this involves the use of a data link control procedure, which automatically detects transmission errors and causes a frame in error to be transmitted. So if they ask you what do you know about synchronous transmission, you have to mention these points. Okay? The error control process. All transmission media have potential for errors. So the data link protocol must provide a method for controlling errors. We have two components for error control. Either error detection, شو يعني error detection? To find out if there is, يعني when the packet arrives or the frame arrives, to know there is an error in this frame. And how do you know that?
Redundancy.
You use a redundancy introduced so that the occurrence of an error will be detected. And I will tell you now how we do this. The second process is called error correction. How do you correct the error? You received a frame and there is an error in the frame. Do you repair it? Do you open the frame and start changing the bits?
No.
Retransmit على طول. Retransmit. The only you are talking about noise. خلاص. Now we are talking frame is received, but there is an error. So the way to correct it, the error correction is retransmit. لأنه it's very fast. No need to. Okay. This is one method of error detection. Parity check. What is parity check? Can you please read it? Then I will explain it. Okay, parity check is a bit is added to each character or to make all bits add up to an even number. Yani, I am sending a frame I will tell the receiver that you will receive even number. How do I make a number even in binary? لازم يكون أول digit إيش؟ 0. If it is 0, then it is even. If it is 1, it is odd. So if the receiver receives an odd number and it's supposed to be even, then the receiver will, there is a problem. This is the parity check. خلاص؟ But this is limited way. Why? Because imagine that there is an error not only in 1 bit, in 2 bits or 3 bits. So it's still okay, it's still even, but there are 2 bits missing. So it's limited way. Agree? Here we talk about data and signal combination. If I have digital data and analog signal, these are the methods of encoding. Very important table. No? ASK, FSK, PSK. The device example is modem. The technology examples is cable modem, DSL. Please, this is very important slide. Okay, summarizes the previous 2 slides. If I have analog and digital, we use the device called PCM, pulse code modulation. Actually, there was like 1 chapter about this, but they removed it. And I used to explain to the students how to do the PCM, how you convert the signal to PCM. عارفين ايش يعني PCM؟ sampling. يعني باخذ الداتا وبسوي لها samples. بحولها من analog إلى digital. But now you need to know the technology. Okay. The device is codec. Example is digital telephones. Then we have digital. We uses Manchester, differential Manchester, NRZI, NRZL. The device is called digital transceiver. This is used in local area network, ISDN, PC to external modem. The last one is analog to analog. اللي هي we said amplitude modulation, frequency modulation, or phase modulation. This example is television, cable TV, AM and FM radio. The device example is transducer. Any question? This is the last. This is the last slide for this chapter. Okay. I'll stop here.